What's up, everybody? We're coming back off to a great weekend. I know it's very special for me and my family, my father especially. I appreciate everything that the university did, but especially you fans just being so awesome, so welcoming, and so encouraging to him. I know that it was very special for him. So thank you for that. But let's talk about our dogs. Our dogs did a great job coming off a very emotional game versus Florida. We came out, we did what we were supposed to do on offense, defense, and special teams, did a lot of really good things. So let's take a look at a few of the good things that we did. Okay, now, the first quarter, before we get there, the first quarter was a little tough on offense, right? We come out, we're a little bit sluggish. We missed a few things here and there, but that's okay. What we did, and one thing that I think our coaches did, was showed a lot of confidence in our offense by on that drive that we scored with Stetson. We're about to talk about the play in a second. They did a lot of great things by basically on third down. We actually Stetson misses a dig across the middle. You can't really see it from the TV copy, but he misses that dig across the middle, ends up scrambling, gets to a 4th and 3. Okay, well, now it's manageable. They obviously saw something that they liked, and we're about to talk about what exactly went down on that play. So we get down to 4th and 3. Okay, so 4th and 3. We're about the 30-yard line, and we're basically in a situation where, hey, we can either take the field goal, all right, or we can take a shot or go for this fourth down. So what we do is not only do we line up in a set that we've used in a lot of different ways. Normally, we've got the bunch a little bit tighter to our box, and we're going to pitch. We're going to run some type of sweep out of there. We're going to try to use it for the run game, but they spread it out a little bit, and here's what they did. They found a tendency, okay? 4th and 3, this part of the field, hey, what do they normally do? Coach, they go 0. Okay, well, if they go 0, let's take a shot, all right? So what we do, all right, is we get lined up in basically what we called basically a 3-by-1 nub set, whatever you want to call it, tied into the boundary, all right? What we're going to do is we're going to max pro. So we're basically going to slide our offensive line. They're all going to slide one gap over. All right, our tight end is going to stay locked in on that end, and then his back is going to come fill either inside or outside, depending on what this Sam linebacker could be doing in his pressure. So Missouri, all right, they go 0. All right, so this guy screws down a little bit, he screws down a little bit. The Sam ends up walking and coming off the edge. The Mike and the Will end up coming front side. They're trying to basically overload us here, but we've got this slide on. We do a great job at O-line, number 1, picking up this pressure. Just because we're in a max pro doesn't mean that we're going to win all the way across the board. We do that. We make the rushes on both sides go high. All right, tackle comes here. Tight end stays locked on, does a great job. And then Cook does a great job of coming over, taking away his inside rush and making him rush up the field. Okay, what this does is allow Stetson to take his drop and then push back up into the pocket. All right, I like to call it setting the point deep. Stetson does a great job. He takes his 3-step drop. All right, normally as a defender, when you see that quarterback stick his back foot in the ground, you're going to rush to his back shoulder because that's his throwing hand is his back shoulder. But you set that point, their rush point deep, and he stepped back up into the pocket. We had a nice little pretty pocket for him to step back up into. The other thing was the play call. All right, play call, we do a great job of understanding what they are. All right, and who they are. They bring pressure, 0 pressure in these situations. All right, what we've got is we ended up running a little hitch or a grab route underneath. All right, we run a corner, all right, and like a post/dig coming over the top leg. Okay, so there's 2 different things that can happen. All right, they can either go zone, they can drop everybody, all right, and it becomes a little bit of a crazier instance or play, all right, in which we can try to just take this for the first down, or even if it's cover 2 or something like that, this will be coming open if they come and grab here. All right. If that happens, great. But Stetson does a great job of recognizing that it's 0. This free safety has inside leverage on our receiver right here. We take a great angle, we stick them, and we take that angle. As soon as he saw that angle, you see him. He lets it go. He puts it up high. He lays that ball out in front of him. We go run it down, track it down, and that's the first touchdown of the day. Really flipped the script as far as the momentum goes, especially since Missouri had ended up getting those first 3 points of the ball game. Our team comes out, takes advantage, takes that momentum back, and then we see how the rest of the game played out from there. All right, the second play I want to talk about is something that I saw both on offense and defense. Georgia did a great job of. Everybody knows when we walked onto the field, everybody looks. It's an old thing. It's been done ever since the start of football, right? You look at their team in warmups and you look at our team in warmups. Okay, who has better dudes? Who has the better looking athletes? Who is going to win the look test at the beginning of the game? And obviously, our guys do. Not only do they win the look test, but we've got some dang good athletes as well. So one thing that Georgia did throughout the game, both on offense and defense, is simplify as the game went on and just make it easy for our athletes to go and play and attack the other players one-on-one, basically saying my X is better than your O. And here's one of the ways that we did that, okay? Later on in the game, we are driving, all right? We get into a situation where I believe it was first or second down, all right? And we just got a simple run play, all right? We've got inside zone right here, okay? Normally inside zone, we're going to mic the play side backer. We're going to work to our end. These two guys are going to work here. These two guys are going to work here, and we're going to block this guy. And as long as they give us this box, we love it, okay? Because we can go block here, we can block here, we can block here, or push crack that guy, all right? But we can make this guy and this guy the two guys that have to make the tackle, all right? Now, what they do is they actually bump these linebackers over. The Sam walked outside of number 2, and all of a sudden you see this free safety start to creep down to the boundary, okay? Now, there's two things you can do, all right? You can either leave this guy and say, hey, we're going to hit the front side, we're going to be out the front side, or knowing that because he's walking down, all right, we can motion him inside and come and block him here. You've seen us do that a lot in the past, okay? But what we actually do, all right, especially since this is Bowers out here, all right, what we end up doing is taking option number 2, all right, and we basically say, hey, all right, I'm going to step back right here and give him this option, basically our option at quarterback, to throw this ball if he feels like we're getting outnumbered in the box, okay, to the back side. So as you see it, the free safety walks down. These guys are now crossing face, so now it makes it much harder for us to get out front side, all right? We are outnumbered here. These guys are going to be able to fill in these gaps. We got the free safety coming off the edge unblocked, okay? So what do? We stand up real quick, flip this ball out to Brock, and then you get to see this X be a lot better than this O, all right? What you see is him walking down the line, doing a great job of using his weapons as Todd Hartley. I know I've worked with Coach Hartley before. He loves talking about his toolbox and the weapons that he's got in his toolbox. Brock does a great job of stiff arming, working his way down the sideline and trying to get into the end zone using his speed. Now, I mean, again, it's just a case of our X's being better than their O's in a lot of ways, but also having the ability not to have to bring him in here and just waste another blocker and stick our nose up in there and try to get 2 to 3. We do a great job of giving us the option of just leaving this guy out here, throwing him the ball, and then saying, hey, come tackle me, right? My guy's better than your guy. You're playing off and soft. Let's just take it and get what we can get out of it. And Brock ends up turning it into a big play, another momentous play that pushed us down into the goal line. We end up getting a touchdown after that. Is another big play. I believe it was only 16 to 3 at that point, and we do a great job of taking advantage of that opportunity. All right, so the next 2 plays that I really want to talk about are how, one, Missouri did a great job of scheming us at the very beginning, but then our coaches did a great job of making adjustments and doing a great job of understanding what's going on and allowing our players to be in the best situation to succeed later on in the game. So first, third, and long that Missouri gets themselves into, okay? So in third and long, we know that we like to bring in our star. We like to bring in nickel. We like to drop guys out. We like to play basically a 2 shell over the top. We trap, we play 2-man, we play 4 trap. We play a lot of different things. But what we do is we match up all the way across the board in a way that it leaves the center of this field wide open, okay? It's okay if we do it right. We take care of our business. It's not an issue because we're doing a great job of walling and cutting off that part of the field to the offense. But one way that the offense can make it level the playing field or make it even is by using an athlete at quarterback. Okay, that's the easiest way to attack the line, or basically the middle of the field. When you spread everybody out, they're all covering somebody either in man or match zone, and then you take that guy and put him right down the middle. It's one of the hardest things to account for. So they do a great job. They've got a freshman quarterback playing. What's the easiest thing to do? Instead of trying to push the ball down the field against our secondary, against that pass rush, against everything that we do so well, they're going to put it in his hands and let him just be an athlete, which he's been doing his whole life. So good coaching job by Missouri in this instance. All right, so basically what they did on this first third down is they brought it back and sprinted him out, okay? We were matched up right here, man to man, okay? So what that does is it takes him and pushes him out. All right, what we end up doing is bouncing everybody out, and our zone just changed just a little bit, okay? Instead of the Sam playing inside of number 2, if you were to try to go vertical, these two guys would take them, and then it would be a one-on-one here. All right, what happens, all right, is basically the Sam ended up bumping out, and it was really cool because you saw our guys knowing their assignments out here. The corner comes, and he's going to basically trap that. He's going to take it over. The safety still playing over the top. The only thing they would have been able to do is force the ball way out over the top to the field, a far hard throw for this freshman quarterback. So did a great job covering it here, okay? Now, to the boundary, it might look like, hey, it's one-on-one here, but we've got number 4. As we know, we like to drop our defensive ends into coverage, especially this guy, as he's an athlete. He's a freak athlete all over the field, not only when he's rushing the quarterback, even when he's dropping in coverage. He's a great job. So he drops out, and he walls, okay? But what are they doing? They're walling. They're walling, okay? So if this guy goes here and runs out, and then they go there, he's going to attack that. He's going to go over the top and attack that. These guys are all pushing out on these guys over the top, okay? So now what that does, all right, is if I take and erase that will, because now the will is all the way out here, the Sam's out here, all right? What does it do? It opens up the middle of the field, all right? So he's gone, all right? So if I erase him and put number 4 right here, walling and running, all right, now we've only got these guys left, all right? So what we do is we rush here, all right? We go to rush here, and this is where we got a little messed up. I believe we were supposed to have some type of twist on to where our end was supposed to come back over the top, and we were supposed to rush here. So now we've got a little bit better rushing lanes, a little bit more gap integrity in the middle. All right, what they do a great job is this is number 99. So because we cleared out the middle of the field, they've only got to handle these 4 up front, okay? So they were able to take both these guys and make sure this guy is out of the play. So we're going to erase Big Jordan Davis. Unfortunately, on this play, you'll see him later. He shows up, don't worry. All right, but on this play, they didn't do a great job of neutralizing them. They do a great job here of basically cutting this off, okay, and then setting and blocking him. All right, so now instead of having this guy, our end, coming in and controlling this gap, they've now created a nice little lane in which the quarterback drops back, takes off, gets a nice little first down, good gain. Good job, Missouri. Great job, Georgia, getting them on the ground. All right. It's not the end of the world, but they did a great job in that scenario. But let's talk about how we did a good job of coming back and attacking that later on. All right. So later in the game, Missouri tries to get into the very similar set in which they went empty backfield. Okay. Now, this is what a lot of people like to do is give their quarterback a run option. All right. Even though it's basically no running back in the backfield, we still do a run option by basically running pass routes in which if the defense covers it, all right, they're going to be, again, clearing the middle of the field, in which we know that that's the mic point for our offensive line. So we're going to block 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with our offensive line, but everybody else should be clearing due to coverage, okay? What we do a great job of, all right, is our staff looks out there and they're like, hey, all right, this is a situation in which they're trying to create some mismatches, create some things in which they can take advantage of in the numbers game as far as the run game or the pass game. All right. And we just man up. We would go man free or one rat, one robber. All right. In which our mic is basically the robber. His eyes are on the quarterback's eyes. He's spying this guy. Okay. All right. And then we just rush. All right, a normal rush. How many times have I said, hey, we twist, we do all this crazy stuff? Well, it's easy to catch us in a twist and then hit us vertical in a QB draw. In this situation, we don't. We just rush, a pure rush, 4-man rush up front. We're man here, man there, man there, man there. We've got one guy high to make sure that they'd have to take advantage of a deep shot. We're going to have a guy over top, okay? All right, here's what happens, and you'll see this in the play. And it's very easy to see that basically our guys are better than their guys, all right? You see him drop back. He's looking over here like he's going to throw it to the running back in flat and a nice little screen. He ends up deciding he doesn't want to do that because we get wide enough at will, all right? And then all of a sudden you see number 99. I told you he was going to show up, all right? He basically runs, takes this guy, forklifts him, throws him into the backfield, all right, and creates the pressure as we start to run this way. Now, we know that our defense, if we are able to make people, if we do a great job of playing gap sound defense and we start making people run this way and this way, who shows up normally, all right? Number 99 is one of our favorite. Our other favorite is Nakobe Dean right here at Mike, okay? So what happens is we force him to run laterally. Nakobe Dean comes, scrapes, does a great job of filling, and attacks the football with a lot of great force and does a great job of just securing the tackle like he always does. But what allowed us to happen was, hey, they put us in the set that could compromise us. We could do some things that are fancy. We could bring twists. We could bring pressure. We could go zone too high shell like we like to play. But he's like, hey, you know what? Let's match our guys up with their guys and see who wins, okay? Again, we won the X's and O's battle. That gave us an opportunity to now, instead of it being, it was 2nd and 8, all right, instead of it being 3rd and 3 or them getting a first down, all of a sudden we're looking at 3rd and 8 or 3rd and 9. And now we get to go have fun, do all these crazy things with our rush and with our coverages to confuse that young quarterback and take advantage of the things that we're really, really good at. So great job by the staff, great job by the players executing and just playing football like they've been doing all year. All right, the last thing I want to talk about is, one, we did a great job on defense scheme-wise. Yes, we do that a lot. We've talked about that a lot. But one thing I wanted to talk about was at the beginning of the year, the biggest story was our front seven were just animals. They're dogs. They're dudes. We can kill anybody with our front seven, but our secondary I don't really know about, okay? Now, here's the thing that I've loved watching progress over this whole season is you see this guy out here, number 5, all right, Ringo, doing a great job all over the field in so many different ways, all right? Here's one of the plays that has impressed me, which I've seen him show up and do over and over again. It's not something that he just did one time and we all high-fived and was like, great play. No, this is what this kid showed up every week and he's done over and over again. And that's being physical in the run game and basically supporting the run, all right? But what they do right here, all right, is they work back. They're working back, all right? They're coming down and they're pulling both these two guys and we're reading right here, all right? The back is flaring out. They're blocking man on, all right? And what they're trying to do is create a mismatch. If this guy was the haul button run at the back, the quarterback would keep it on basically a wrap or power play back going into the boundary, okay? So good scheme. Again, they do a good job at Missouri scheming things up, but we did a great job on our defense of, one, forcing him. We sit here, we read, we force him to basically throw the ball out here quick, and then as soon as we do, we start to haul butt. We know that all of our defensive ends have speed, okay? What that does is it forces this ball to the sideline and makes him continue to get width and depth, all right? Then it comes down to, hey, who can beat their man? Which guy is going to win the battle, okay? And this is what you've seen over and over again, all right? I don't want to leave out Greeny because he's been doing an awesome job at this as well, but this number 5, Ringo, has been doing an unreal job of setting that edge and, 1, forcing it in, or 2, making the tackle himself. You see him step up, basically get rid of the block, keep his basically width and set the edge. He doesn't create an edge by trying to jump inside the block and come get him here. He plays with great gap integrity, with defensive integrity. He keeps outside, makes that tackle in the backfield, and he's been doing it over and over again. So, hard hat of the week My guy, with Ringo has done an awesome job. Brittany, you've been killing it too. But at the same time, I'm really impressed with number 5 with everything he's done this year. And I'm looking forward to see him continue to develop as he's just a young corner out there starting to create his own islands, and things that we can do with the defense with a guy like that in the future is really exciting. So awesome job this week, Dogs. Looking forward to us pushing on for this next week. Continue to do a great job taking care of the little details and the business things that we've got going on. But at the same time, all right, just do what you do. Let your X's be better than their O's. And I think we're going to continue to put points on the board, number 1. And number 2, our defense is going to continue to be really, really tough to push the ball down the field as well as run the ball on. So I'm looking forward to an awesome rest of the season.